Hello, my friends, and welcome to new subscribers. Today's topic is going to be based on the last couple of turbulent weeks. Obviously, it's been difficult for a lot of people, and I want to entitle this video, What is My Responsibility? Basically, talk about where you are in your spiritual practice and how, when things come along like this in the collective, what's the appropriate response?
Shit!
My name is Paul, and this is Path of Ascension. So I know that by now you guys are all familiar with the murder of George Floyd and all the social media videos and commentary that has swirled around that topic. While I'm not going to specifically talk to that, I do want to talk to you guys about how do we respond when these kind of things happen? I mean, I have been on spiritual sites that basically accuse anyone of going out and protesting as being part of the problem. And I just want to dispel that kind of thinking and those kind of thoughts, because we all have a responsibility to respond as awakened beings in the way that our hearts tell us to respond. And that may be going out and protesting. That may be writing a piece, or that may be, creating a video. Whatever it is that your response is to an event like this and sort of a social crisis is appropriate if you're coming from a place of truth. And if you make that one decision before you respond to anything, is what I'm about to say or do going to help the situation or hinder the situation? Yeah, definitely worth giving that some thought. uh, we are all coming from a different place in our spiritual growth and in our path of ascension and path of awakening. And I think uh, a lot of how you respond to something like that's going on in the world is going to have to do with where you're at in your journey. For example, when you first awaken and you first start seeing things the way that they really are, you are probably going to need some time, and some people spend 4 or 5 years sort of hermiting and basically keeping yourself separate from what's going on in the world so you can sort of learn yourself, understand yourself, and learn to see how you fit into the collective and how you're part of that. And I think for some people that can take a month. For some people that can take several years. At that time, do you want to expose yourself to every bad thing that goes on in the world? No, you probably don't, because you're going to need to light that flame, and it's going to need to get bright, because eventually you're going to come out of that cocoon and you're going to go out into the world, and you're going to need to shine that light into the dark places. I mean, I think if you look at the influences of some of our greatest spiritual leaders, Jesus himself walked and spoke of peace and love and compassion. Gandhi walked with his people in protests, and Martin Luther King. Current day Sadhguru, he goes from place to place trying to affect change. So we have good representation of what we should do as spiritual people, as long as we do it with love, compassion, peace, understanding.
Can't we just settle this over a pint?
So now this portion of the video may be a little controversial, and you guys, I always welcome you to write comments and your opinions in the comments box below. You know, there are certain people that are born into this lifetime, and they're sort of destined to become monks. That is going to be their life in this lifetime. They might go to a mountain or a Zen monastery, and they're going to live out their lives studying and meditating, and that's going to be their life. And they're going to be completely removed from what's going on in the world. I have nothing against that. You and I might have all had to live that lifetime. If, however, you are living in the world and you are on a spiritual journey, uh, then you're involved in this human existence. And I don't think that we can sit on our hands and back away from what's going on in the world simply because we recognize that we're spiritual beings living as humans in a temporary existence. We are in this existence to experience, and I think Our responsibility is to apply love, understanding, compassion to every situation, good or bad, in this lifetime. You know, I think one of the hardest things for all of us to accept is that we all possess this depth of creativity and this depth of ability, and sometimes we don't even know where that's going to come out and how that comes out, but it's within all of us. So it's important to find that within yourself so you can apply those talents, those abilities, that love into every situation that comes up. In other words, getting in touch with your own worth and your own value.
You guys are showing a lot of wisdom by having me be the one to fix it.
You were really the only one left.
The only guy for the job,
The only one left.
the only one who could get it done.
There was nobody else
Nobody but me.
left in the office.
How'd you end up in here?
Oh, well, I tried to start a revolution, but didn't print enough pamphlets, so hardly anyone turned up, except for my mum and her boyfriend, who I hate.
Hey, bottom line, it's been a tough couple weeks, and I know that this video may create more questions than it answers, and if that's the case, so be it. I would definitely like to hear your opinion on this, and you know how you personally take responsibility for your own spirituality and how you apply that to this world and some of the issues that happen in this world. Thanks again for watching, guys. Listen, if you have any comments or opinions that you'd care to leave, but you don't want to leave them in the comment box publicly, use my email address and I'd be happy to respond to any of them. Thanks again, guys. Stay healthy.